Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, Sim Racing fans, and welcome back here to SRW TV for Tuesday night's broadcast. Tonight we bring to you the Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series. This is round 6 of season 4 of 2023, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. I am Nathan Shibby Howden. In the comms box next to me is Thomas Preach. Riley, Sandown, mate. Super Sprint. How we feeling?
I'm feeling so keen, Shibby. Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you back in the comms box with me, producing what should be an epic night of racing tonight around Sandown, characterised by the 2 long straights down the main straight and then upwards up to turn 6 at the top of the hill there, before they run down towards Dandenong Road. It's going to be an absolute cracker. The Super Sprint format, we saw great racing a couple of weeks ago at Homestead, Miami, and I'm sure that Sandown lends itself to just as much racing.
Oh, mate, we've seen it here before. I think this is one of our most race tracks in the V8 Supercars, mate, and I tell you what, I'm pretty sure all of the drivers love getting out here on a homegrown track, mate, so definitely keen. We have got 34 cars lining up for the qualifying session this evening thanks to Racecraft Simulation. So good field again, mate. It looks like the drivers are loving this series, and we haven't seen much of a drop-off, so it's going to be interesting how these 3 20-minute races take place tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be crazy good racing. Not worried about tyres or about... everyone's worried about tyres, but no one's worried about fuel. There's no pit stops. A reverse top 10 into a reverse top 5, I believe, is the format, is it not?
Correct, mate. Yep. So,
Yes.
yeah, first race is done by qualifying session. Second race is reverse top 10, and feature will be a reverse top 5.
So lots to play out there. We saw some good battles last time out as well at Watkins Glen. There were some good battles all the way through the field, a couple of safety cars to start us off, and then lots of green flag running towards the end. So down into turn 1 here, we will see a little bit of action, and then through the little chicane at 2 and 3 before they get into that tight left-hander at 4, and then the run up the back stretch. Watch for cars to potentially lose the rear end in traffic coming out of 4. Very easy to light up the rear tyres from my personal experience there. And then the crazy run, part of probably the best sequence of corners that we race all season, down out of turn at the top of the hill at turn 6, fast 5th, 4th gear corner, and then down over the hill and watch for moves down into turn 9 at the bottom there at the top of Dandenong Road.
This is going to be a cracking night, mate. And while we've got a bit of time, I just want to touch base on our top 10 championship point leaders right now. So leading the charge, not by many points though, is Jamie Davis out on 866 points. Darren Crosby is just in behind him on 845, and to make this racing even closer, third place Matt Whitaker on 843 points. So the top 3 are extremely close, and we've got lots of points up for grabs here this evening. Moving back down through the table, we'll see Liam Tipping in P4 on 822 points. Peter Vanderkran on 782 points. Jace Douglas in 6th position, looking pretty good mid-season right now on 717 points. Mitchell Muller on 698 in P7. Dylan DeBono, 682 in 8th. Stephen Kennedy, 670 points in 9th. And Travis Daly, 629 points in 10th. There's really nothing separating this top 10 right now.
Absolutely not. There's a couple of wins in there for Liam Tipping as well. He's got the 2 wins, but still sitting down there in 4th. But that's only 44 points off the lead, so it's very tight up towards the front. Lots of points still on offer this evening, and with 3 rounds to go after this one as well. So lots to play out still in this season. Jamie Davis, been fastest driver pretty much all season so far, has shown pace. Lots of podiums in there. He's got an average finish of third in all the races he's done. So that's a great average position. Definitely showing his worth there.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's good to see too. If you look back in P6, Jace Douglas has already also got an average finish of third as well. I think he might have missed a round or two, hence why his points aren't as high. So it'll be interesting to see what that young gun can do over the next couple of rounds as well, because I definitely will be keeping an eye on him as his driving has really picked up another level this season.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen all the drivers now starting to head out for their qualifying session, and Jace Douglas is one of those cars who we'll keep an eye on very closely leading through this session.
We are into the racecraft simulations qualifying session. Whoa! That ripple curve coming down out that corner there just unsettled 3 cars in a row. One was Jason Douglas. They just caught a bit of it, and you could see that right-hand side of that beautiful V8 supercar lift off the track. So they're definitely going to have to be very careful with how much curb they take there. Track map up so we can see just how busy it is out here at Sandown, as the times will start flowing through very, very soon. Very, very quick track, this one. One of the shortest on the roster for our Season 4. Bono will set the first lap, 107.821. Whitaker, 107.727. So those times are already flying in. Pavlovich, 107.871. Be interesting to see how close we get to those 106s here for the AMs. 15 minutes of qualifying, plenty of time with such quick laps. Be interested to see where everybody ends during this qualifying session.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple of sectors coming up purple at the moment. Matt Whitaker's got the fastest sector 1. Hannah Pavlovich with the fastest sector 2, and then Matt Whitaker again with the fastest sector 3. So Matt's, the optimal lap is probably sitting around a 7.5 or 7.4 at the moment. So we've got some pace still to find throughout the field. Everyone will be looking to try and make the most of what they can. Joe Marnie slots himself up there into 11th, on board with Lorne McKee here, who's got not quite his fastest sectors altogether. Comes across the stripe, does an 8.3, so only just off the fastest time that he's managed to put together. We jump now to John Gallen for Pacific Esports Racing. Got Liam Tipping in front of him. He's using as a little bit of draft assistance. Coming through the last sector here, last sequence of corners. Sorry, that's Merckx. Oh, just grabs a little bit too much throttle. Coming off the bumps there of the curb. Unfortunately, gets unstuck. Reese DeGoey goes to 20th spot on a 9.4.
See how just busy that track is, mate. Oh, Goey as well. Just getting on that loud pedal a little too hard, and out goes that rear end. I wonder if that's going to be something we see a lot of tonight. Just check the temperature of the track. We are looking at 41 degrees Celsius, so it is a toasty day out there.
Petar Pavlovich is on a good lap here as well. He's got another purple middle sector to his name. Doesn't improve, so loses it all in that final sector. That's a lot of damage to a car that's just gone past there. Not sure who that was. Might have been Josh King potentially.
Last thing I've got is Mr. Rattler Van Loon off track. So
yeah, looked like it was a bit of contact there though for a car that had stopped. With lots of damage. So Jamie Davis goes to the top on a 7.5. So does a very nice lap there indeed. Takes the pole position at the moment, provisionally by only 0.04 of a second over Dylan DeBono.
Oh, and Douglas up into 5th then, 107.886. Great lap from him. Trying to grab tools of the track, see if we can find someone to jump on board with. Taylor is coming down towards the final corner now and onto the home straight. Jump on board and go for a lap.
So bumpy front straight, get yourself all the way across the right-hand side. Everyone coming from the pits should be letting you through nicely. Getting yourself down on the brakes just at the start of the white wall there. Turn it in nice. You park it up on the outside curb, as Mark Scape would say, use it as a motocross berm. Then run yourself across these two curbs here at 2 and 3 on the brakes, down to first gear, short shift second on the exit for 4. Keep the rear tyres under control. A little kink of 5, up the back straight now. There's a little exit road on the right-hand side where you just grab the brake, get it down to 5th gear, turn it in, use the inside curb, then run it across with a little S section, heavy on the brakes. Lots of curbs to use there at Dandenong Road. Coming back inside, watch for traffic in front. Use both curbs, get yourself through. Nice and early on the power. Pull yourself through the corner. Then up to the line to finish your lap. Brett Taylor on that particular lap did an 8.7. So not a bad lap time. Just about 0.2 away from his best that he's done. 2 Accelerate cars in front of him.
One just pulled over, that was Clifton. The other one is Horton. They're going to go again.
Horton at the moment sitting in 18th spot, best of an 8.57. There's a couple of cars. Oh, geez, there's like Sean Nazaska Smith, Mark Horton, and Todd Martin are all 5.67, 5.73, 5.76. So within 9 thousandths of a second of each other. Oh, pinch the brake. I mean, that's one way to get through the corner. I wouldn't say it's the fastest, pulling the handbrake on, but...
Drifters that argue there.
Joe Marnie's on a good lap here.
There he is, mate.
Shibby, 2 greens, so 2 personal bests. Comes across the line. Does jump himself up to P6, so a gain of 13 positions there for Joe on a 7.88. Just eclipses Douglas there by 4 thousandths as well. So very tight throughout the field here. It's what you get when you take a 65 to 70 second lap time. Everyone gets very close together.
Darren Crosby.
Jim Caparonis. Oh, Darren Crosby.
Yeah, yet to set a lap. He was on all green sectors, but it didn't register, so I wonder if he's just copped himself a 1X through there. I think we'll keep an eye on him because with a full green sector, he might be on a flyer this one. Bit of lap.
It might have been an outlap there as well, but he hasn't. Yeah, he's done 4. This is his 5th lap now, and he hasn't done a lap time. So the pressure's on for Darren. What other M1 cars have we got here? Oh, he's backed out of it.
Qualifying down there, Sean Smith on 2 greens. Looking to go better. Currently sitting in provisional P18.
Does improve up to 14th. So a good lap there for Sean.
Western
Himself up a couple of spots, 8-1.
Western slots into provisional P21. So another improvement for another driver. Still plenty of improvement happening across the field here. Pavlovich does go better, stays in provisional P5. Tipping
Liam
now.
Tipping with great lap. Goes to the top on a 7.44. So the championship leader, second in the championship, I think. He's done a great lap there. Beats Jamie Davis by 900ths or so. Put himself up there. Scotty Rattler jumps himself up into P7.
Times are
So
still
a nice lap there.
flying, mate.
Yeah. Of course, 15 minutes is the hard cut. Have to have started a lap. You have to finish your lap before the 15 minutes is up. Otherwise, it won't register. Chris Burridge, lead M1 car at the moment, sitting there in 13th.
Take too much curve there. Is there a bit of relax on the off tracks there across those curves?
You can still get an off track up coming from turn 6 all the way down to Dandenong Road at turn 9. You can still get an off track there, but you can use a lot of track before you get slammed for it. Burridge doesn't improve. Darren Crosby only 27th on a 9.3.
Probably not where he wants to be on the timing table, sitting second in the championship. But the thing is, we've discussed this before. You can be quick on a qualifier and not have a great race. You can start at the back of the pack and have phenomenal races and still finish right up in that podium positions. And it's all about consistency here. A lot of drivers will be on that championship podium just for being consistently and finishing in that top 10 every week.
Jamie Davis has gone back to the top and we've missed that on a 7.3. So found another 10th and a half over what Liam Tipping could manage. So he's going to try and rush around now, get himself started for one more lap. Should be okay. Probably time this absolutely to perfection to start the lap and then get around to finish it. Peter Vanderkram with a purple first sector. And the 31 car comes across the stripe. Should be an improvement for him.
He did
And an improvement, but didn't improve his position. So
Look how close they are, though.
Super close.
All they've got to do is find a couple of tenths on a corner. And it is just ridiculously close. The top 10 are all in the 7th, so less than a second between the top 10. I can see some train battles happening here tonight as Lorne still trying to get in a better lap. One green sector in the second sector. See what he can do.
Rotated very nicely around the second to last corner there. So I'll see if that helps him improve his time. Does, puts him up one spot over Mitch Muller there.
The improvement is better than no improvement. The Goey now trying to improve. Improves his time, still only sitting in provisional P20 right now. Orton is still out there.
No, so Jamie Davis, Liam Tipping, Dylan DeBono all in the pits. Matt Whitaker is not on a lap. I don't think he'll get around to finish. No, he won't get around to finish this one. Who have we got? I don't think anyone else will.
Caparonis just jumped Travis Daly, though, up into provisional P10. So good lap for Jim there.
That's a good result. Of course, this is only one part of the story tonight. Even another two opportunities to advance your grid position, especially with the reverse top 10s in there. But as the drivers now start heading to grid, it is Jamie Davis who takes out the racecraft pole position with a great lap of 1 minute 7.44. Liam Tipping will line up alongside him, Dylan DeBono and Matt Whitaker just behind them as well. But yeah, as you said, the top 10 all in the 107s. So great lap times from our AMs here tonight.
Always put on such a great show, the AMs, and we can tell from the viewership out there. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. We've had a lot of messages come through, and I have missed quite a few. Brad Anderson says, let's go, Jamie. Harry Dodd says, if you don't love this track, then there's something wrong. Love this track. Anderson then says, let's go, Josh. Harry Dodds is keen for Sunday. Laura out there is shouting out to good luck, Jamie. Matthew Boylat has said, hey, Ray. Good luck, PSR boys, from Brad Clayton. Doddsy said, you got to attack those curbs at 2 and 3 and 4. It's what makes lap times. Darian Kendall says, let's go auto serve, boys. Ray Douglas, thanks for joining us again. The mate, always glad to see you in here. He says they've got a thunderstorm going on down there at the moment, so I hope Jace doesn't blimp out in practice. Cowie's got an ROG this week. Didn't make it home last week. And Benjamin Smith has joined us and said Tippy is doing a personal pit stop. So again, thank you all for joining us this evening to watch all these amazing races. Head out to Sandown this evening. I am waiting for... There it is. The grid
Jamie
is
Davis.
set.
Yep, so Jamie Davis and Liam Tipping will line up along each other on row 1. Dylan DeBono, Matt Whitaker off of 2, Peter Vanderkran and Petar Pavlovich off of 3. Joe Marnie, Scott Rattler, Jason Douglas and Jim Caparonis round out the top 10. Travis Daly and Simon Haynes will line up off of row 6. Flip the page. Chris Burridge and Sean Nazazka-Smith off of 7. Lorne McKee and Mitchell Muller off of 8. Brett Taylor and Mark Horton and Scott Weston and John Gallen round out the top 20. Reese DeGoey, Mick Clifton, Todd Martin for Quantum Pecky's Performance Racing, and then Craig Healy off of row 12. Scott Perrins, Dougie Gowans, Greg Leake, Dan Merckx, Darren Crosby, Bruce White, Tyler Sheaf, Matty Jones is one of the race controllers and safety car drivers tonight. Andrew Cowan, Marty Mitchell, Josh King, and Tyson McAvoy is the other safety car or race controller tonight. Revs rise. We get ready for a start here. Jamie Davis getting himself going. Lots of wheel spin off the start for Jamie Davis. So Liam Tipping will lead them away. Jamie Davis dropping through the field a long way with all that wheel spin. Jim Caparonis is going to try and go around his outside. We've got a car around. It's Chris Burridge. Jace Douglas is involved. We've got another 2 cars. I am surprised that we've still got most of the cars moving off the start.
A bit of chaos.
Lots of numbers being called in there.
Turn 2, mate. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll keep on board until we hear anything from our race stewards. Oh, now the race does continue. But yeah, Jamie Davis down 5 spots off that pole position. Pushing the back of Pavlovich. Pavlovich up the inside of Vanderkran. Does have Davis on his inside as well. Davis will actually, look like he nearly got it through. Who will get the better run out of here as we've come to finish out lap 1 of race 1?
Safety car's been called.
It has?
Safety car has been called. Is it? Yes, so there's Matty Jones in the safety car. Just letting the field file through. Where he makes his way onto the racetrack. Lots of damage there for a couple of cars. One of them being the Pacific Esports racer of John Gallen. I think we might have Reese DeGoey, who's requested to tow, and Sean Smith as well, who have stopped on the racetrack for completing that lap. Reese DeGoey in the fence.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that is the dreaded Armco grabbing that car and not letting it go. It's personal experience. It's not fun when you get caught.
He did look pretty well wedged in there, mate, so not the best start. Well, we've got a bit of time for them to come back around. Let's take a quick look at that start again.
So Reese to go around the outside. Lots of carnage up in front of him. He manages to get himself through nicely. bit of contact there with Scott Perrins, and then Sean Smith gets turned around, and then Reese here just lights up the rear tyres a bit too much on the exit. Yep, that's being wedged in the Armco. We'll watch him try and grab reverse gear in a second, try and get himself out, and nothing. Yep. So that car has been held very firmly there, unfortunately.
Just going to get a restart, a replay of this start. Everybody looked to have got a really good start. Perrin's out and around, and off he goes. See a lot of cars looking like they want to go 3 wide, 2 wide. I suppose it's hard not to do so at the start.
Courage spin off to the right-hand side, and then Sean Smith. I think that's Gallen as well are involved. Might have been Travis Daly who was off track on the left-hand side potentially as well.
Oh, yep, so the M1 car does look like they might have put their self off the track, and it's just caused everyone else to check up. And then it is get out of the way as best as you can. Such a tight area, it's not that easy to do. I think it was our fault. We've got to warn all the drivers. Cold tyres, mate. Cold tyres.
Yep. Yeah, so cold tyres, cold minds potentially. Just haven't got themselves into the rhythm of the race yet. And yeah, just being a bit too eager on the loud pedal on those curbs, and that can really undo you. So we'll wait and see what happens from that with race control. I'll be looking at it at the moment. If there is any need for any intervention from them. Safety car leading the field around at the moment. Dylan DeBono is the leader of the field over Liam Tipping. So DeBono managed to get a move done on Tipping after turn 1. Matt Whitaker there in P3. Sammy Davis hasn't lost out too much into 5th at the moment. So
Well, Mick Clifton gained extremely well out of all the chaos that did ensure up 10 spots into P12. Tyler Sheaf up 12 spots into P19. And Andrew Cowan, who had a rear grid to be served from last week, up into P21, up 12 spots. So a few drivers have very much gained some big positioning moves for a lap 1 safety car.
yeah, absolutely. That's it's a good result for him. Up quite a handy number of spots there. So Tyler Sheep and Andrew Cowan, you up those 12 spots off the start. Everyone just fanning out as they make their way up this back straight. I'll tell you what, Shibby, these new camera angles are great, I have to say.
Mate, we've got to keep moving forwards with the broadcast, making it look better and better for, of course, our viewers and our drivers out there. Huge shout out to, of course, our new producer, Peter Gretton. Very, very skilled producer, always wanting to make things better and better. So him and I have been doing a bit of work in the background, of course. And it's a big thanks to him for these camera packs.
So I think we'll have one more lap on the safety car here. Everyone just trying to warm up their tyres and their brakes.
I think Tipping got a little bit of a sniff of the exhaust fumes from the back of DeBono then, as DeBono was trying to warm his tyres up. Like
well, I mean, if you really wanted this thing, you just have to pull up alongside.
Of him, that's true.
Side exit exhaust on these. And they thought about that when they built them. They put them to adjust the centre of gravity. That's why they're not in the centre, running down the centre line of the car. They basically cut right across after the cutout for the wheel arch. cut across to the left-hand side, and that's why they exhaust where they are. On the Gen 3s, it's much further forward.
See, I would have thought less exhaust, more airflow.
That's one reason, but I suppose why wouldn't you put them on both sides of the car then?
Yeah, it would look cool.
But yes, the exhaust outlets are only on the passenger side of the car. Either way, we are getting back to green flag running at the end of this lap. Safety car has accelerated away from the field. Dylan DeBono's job is now to hold 80 kilometres an hour. The field closes up behind him. Single file, no more weaving, no more warming tyres, no more warming brakes. So get ready for this, what will end up being probably an 11-minute dash to decide the results of this first race, and of course decide on the top 10, which will get inverted at the moment. It is Lorne McKee who's holding that 10th spot. Getting ready for green flag to be waved in just a second. Green flag is now, so it's up to Dylan DeBono now as to when he gets himself going, and he is going to go before the last couple of corners here. Focus on getting a good run out of this corner. And he does a great job. Liam Tipping has just dropped back a little bit too far, 6/10 off the back of Dylan DeBono. Fair bit of field spread throughout now as well. They run down to turn 1. Bono does nicely. Get himself started. Matt Whitaker's going to try and hustle Liam Tipping at the moment. Drive-through penalty for cars 51 and 44 for contact on lap 1. So that is for Reece Degoe and Sean Smith. After two of the pit lane. Peter van der Kraan doing nicely at the moment. The whole Jamie Davis behind him. Little bit of action further back. Jason Douglas down in 20th spot at the moment. Has lost 11 spots. Coming up alongside Tyler Sheaf in the 8 car. Looks to try and make the move. Tyler Sheaf ends up having to go off track. And that will be a slowdown that he will have to serve, because that was a long way off track there. Even though he lost positions. It's just put a little bit of a press on the guys behind. Bruce White battling with Muller for Performance Sim Racing. And Scotty Rattler Van Loon's lost 16 positions.
Yeah, might have been caught up in that debacle.
Looks like he had to
beginning.
pit though. Looks like there's a pit on that for him.
Oh, the velocity. And I think that was
Dougie Gowans. And
Jace
it looks like it might have been
Douglas.
Jace Douglas involved in that one. So a fair bit of contact down into turn 1. Looks like Jace is going to redress it. And with how far Dougie was off the track, that'll be looked at by race control, that's for sure. Redress is the gentlemanly thing to do, but race control still have onus to have a look at all that's happened. So Pavlovich now handing the back of Davis.
didn't get the greatest run out of that corner with how close he was on the back of Davis. Not going to get the draft assistance down this straight. Let's see who's going to be quicker into these corners. Both braking very similar spots there on the braking markers. Further back, we've got Todd Martin, Quantum Peckies down the inside of the GMK Logistics car. They're going to go side by side. Oh, Martin just pulling back in. Safer option through there. Does look to be holding a lot of pace though. Was just under a second faster last lap than Weston in front of him.
Tipping and DeBono have closed up a lot on Peter van der Kraan's off track at the moment. Dropping down the order. But we go back to the lead pack here.
Bono tipping and Whitaker really starting to pull from the pack.
Drive-through penalty for car 88. So that is for Jason Douglas for contact on that last lap. On that turn 1, so that would be with Dougie Gowans. So Jace will drive through the pits now, serve that penalty. For Bono holding strong for those Holden fans out there. Being assaulted by 2 Mustangs behind. These curb cams are wonderful as they run down to Dandenong Road. Morn McKee's falling through the order as well.
If we get the chance, we will go back and check out a few of these. Yeah, Lorne was off track for 1.5 seconds. Right now we are focused on the top 3 because they are pulling away. Davis 2 seconds back from Whitaker. And the rest of the pack has sort of settled out. Not too much happening until sort of further back down in the pack around P18 where Muller is on the back of White. You can see De Bono now trying to get away from Tipping and Whitaker because the further he gets away, the less chance he has of getting involved with their battle behind him. Keeping his eyes forwards, and that's where he's going to keep looking. Stephen Banks has joined us and said, let's go Pelicans.
No, Whitaker had a great run down through turn 6. Was able to close up right behind Tipping. Just coming off the curb there, gets a little bit of wheel spin as he comes off the curb. Was very focused on trying to get a good exit, but so was Liam Tipping as well, coming out of the last corner. With turn 1 being such a good overtaking opportunity, the run out of that last sequence of corners is really important. As we see Sheaf and
Bruce White
getting through.
Yeah.
Sheaf is just going to get eaten up here if he's not careful. It looks like Vanderkran's going to try and get himself involved. We are going to go 3 wide just down this back straight. Chiefy goes latest of all the breakers, locks up the front, manages to keep control of the car, which is very lovely done. But is now at the risk of losing the position of Peter Vanderkran, who takes the wide line. Battle is very tight now. Great to see with this new camera angle. Oh, it's a good catch from Mitch Muller. Looked like he might have been following in.
I think you got to slow down, mate. There's a few guys.
I think you got to slow down.
It just looked like Rattler got through there really easy.
Side by side. Oh, and there's contact.
That's big
and
contact.
Bouncing off the curbs. Oh, and Darren Crosby's involved as well. So both M1 cars involved in a little bit of chaos at the bottom of Dandenong Road. It was Burridge and Muller who went side by side down through turn 6. It was very, very tight there as they come down. Contacts made as... We'll get the replay here. So Muller on the inside, running side by side through the corner. Burridge is on the slide, trying to keep the car in bounds. Oh, we got Merckx in behind, giving us his best sideways. But then contacts made as Burridge comes back off the curb. Then Muller bounces, more contacts made. And just in trying to save it, Muller makes contact with Crosby.
Battles going on during that replay. Travis Daly now right on the back of Todd Martin with Scott Weston for the GMK Logistics car right behind him as well. Is Todd Martin just going to pull out of the way, or is he just trying to stay out of the drag? Daly is going to get around him. Weston looking like he wants to have a turn as well. Side by
A bit of side-to-side contact there. Looks like Weston was fine to get into that corner. Sorry, Daly and Martin were fine to get into the corner there. Just a little bit of side-to-side contact at the apex. Chris Burridge getting past Peter Vanderkraan now, trying to find his way back through the field. After that contact, lots of damage on the left-hand side. Merckx is having some fun out there. Just run outside the curve at turn 4. I saw in the background that JTIT race on Oscar. Definitely got it all crossed up. Coming down through turn 6 the last time around. More under control this time.
Good run on King there. Got a chance for another position. Up 6 spots. Joshua King also up 14 spots. So definitely not going to want to lose those anytime soon. Andrew Cowan side by side with Healy. Just had to back out of that. It's like Merck is going to go side by side now with King. Merckx will get through there. Oh, sorry, that was Joshua King. Still learning some of these new liveries. Daly back up the front with Weston. Really starting to turn it on now into the last minute of Heat 1. Oh, on the curve again. Cars have managed to pull it through. Andrew Cowan's going to make a meal of this. Up 19 spots. We'll get another one. Up into P14 for your average sim racer. Bono, though, really pushed this out.
It's the last lap too.
Tipping, just getting it all sort of crossed up through the corner there. That's not going to help him catch the back of De Bono. Whittaker falling off the back of Tipping as well. Essentially, all 3 of these guys are in good positioning to go through into Heat 2, but Cowan still having a sniff at Weston. Rattler's in behind there now in the back of Daly. Daly's got some heavy damage. Oh, a bit of a bump there. Rattler will come through. Get the move done on Daly as De Bono will take out Heat 1 for Velocity Sim Lab. Liam Tipping for JTIT Race On Oz will take out P2. And Matt Whittaker for the Fishy Motorsports team in P3. Apart from that, that first lap, jitters we'll call it. Those battles were absolutely phenomenal, and that's what we want to see here at Sandown. Couple of guys fighting to the end of the line. Oh, Merco.
King.
Yeah, that was close.
6,600ths of a second comes home. Merckx over King in the end. Taylor takes home P10, which means he'll have pole for Heat 2 tonight.
$17 votes in on the poll. It turns out 82% of you love Sandown out of 17 votes. Also, it turns out 11 of you don't know where the like button is. If you are finding yourself enjoying this broadcast tonight, it goes a long way to helping us continue to do these for you and the drivers. So make sure you do hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because we are not far off from giving away that fantastic rig and seat thanks to Racecraft Simulations. It could be an amazing Christmas gift for one of you out there. Reverse top 10 grid is up.
Brett Taylor lines up on the pole alongside Mick Clifton, Jim Caparonis. converts his top 10 qualifying result and puts himself here into third. Simon Haynes will line up alongside him in fourth. Joe Marnie and Petar Pavlovich out of 5 and 6. Jamie Davis and Matt Whitaker, and then Liam Tipping and Dylan De Bono round out the top 10. So watch for those 4 cars to surge their way through. Joe Marnie won't make it easy for them, though, that's for sure. Todd Martin and Craig Healy will line up off of row 6, and then everyone else is where they finish. So it's Cowan, Weston, Rattler and Daly, Sheaf and White, Burridge and Vandercran, Merckx and King in that real tight finish there. Greg Leake and Darren Crosby. And then Dougie Gowans, John Gallen, Mitch Muller, and Jason Douglas, Scott Perrins, Reese DeGoey, Mark Horton, Lorne McKee, Sean Smith, Matty Jones, and then Jones, Mitchell, and McAvoy. Jones and McAvoy are the race directors, and then obviously Marty Mitchell didn't make a start in that last race, so not sure if we'll be seeing him in this one either. But Brett Taylor, the literal green-eyed monster for Valve Motorsport, will start us off the pole here. And we keep saying it every week, but some of these liveries, they're getting better and better, aren't they?
Oh, mate, every season. As much as, like, I get a little frustrated because I've got to learn all new liveries when I get so used to seeing one guy in his livery, and then I got to learn them all again. They do a great job. They really do. Standouts this season are the Quantum's Pecky Performance Cars and the Team Pelicans. To say, hear their engine starting to rev. This will be heat 2 of a 3-heat race here tonight at Sandown. Get your predictions in now.
Revs rides, everyone holds it on the line lockers. Getting ready for a start here. It's a good start from the front too. Joe Marnie bogs it down a little bit out of P5 and will drop through the field. De Bono already getting past. Everyone seems to be making it through off the start line nicely. We've got 3 wide back in the pack. Joe Marnie trying to recover from that poor start that he had. Going to try and hold it around the outside of Dylan De Bono. A little bit of contact there, side by side, and it's De Bono and Marnie again who have got involved together. Marnie facing the wrong way. Drop through the field, and it looks as if we've already got a safety car. Oh, there's lots of damage further back in the pack. And we've got Scotty Perrins, who looks to be wedged in the bundle again.
That's before turn 1.
Yep. So we've got a car that's stuck in the barricade again.
We're gonna have to get the tow truck out.
That looks like that was a big crash.
It does, mate. We're gonna see what we can do here. Gosh, Sandown really giving it to the drivers here on lap 1 so far in both heats. All the drivers are giving it to Sandown, one of the two. Big fields, though, on board with Muller. See a few cars go off towards the pit lane. Lots of cars starting to scatter. Muller!
Oh, that's massive. That's Jace Douglas involved. There's an auto-serve car involved as well, which is Josh King. The 273 of Lorne McKee's involved. Now, there's a story to unfold there as to what happened with Jace Douglas. We get another replay here. So everything looks like they got through all good through turn 1 for Joe Marnie, who we're looking at here. Joe tries to pinch De Bono for a bit of space.
Sorry.
And then we jump back down to... There we go. We're going to rewind from Jason Douglas here, see what happens. So the Pecky's car's been held up.
Auto serve car comes across a bit. Jace does get through, though.
Oh, and it's just 2 into 1 converging.
Both trying to move into the center.
So it looks
of
like
the track.
Muller was just, Muller didn't quite see. Muller gets stuck in the barricade. Douglas gets involved.
Oh.
And then it's just a carry on from there. You've got Lorne McKee, who's been launched into the stratosphere.
Pecky's
with
car
Josh
takes...
King rolling over. That's a big one.
That is a big one. As Brad joins in saying, come on, auto serve, boys. We see one of them airborne.
So we're jumping back to Joe Marnie here. So, okay. End of the replay.
We can back up.
Here we go. So Joe coming down with De Bono on the inside. Joe's tried to just pinch De Bono for all the space. There is contact there. Made side by side. Joe just gets up on the curb a little bit. And then they've just interlocked from there. And unfortunately, Joe has ended up in the barricade. And De Bono had nowhere to go.
At that point for Joe as well. First lap, every single car is on top of each other. That will be all the way to the back he goes.
Yeah, Joe's also very lucky that he didn't get stuck in the Armco. There, otherwise that would be a toe to pit scenario. So he's been lucky that he can still keep going. Yes, he's lost 24 positions down into 29th, but lucky that he can keep going. And it's Taylor who'll still be leading after this safety car period.
Yeah, so not much has changed up the front. Taylor and Clifton are still in the same spot where they qualified. Haynes is up 1 spot into P3. Davis is up 3 spots into P4. Caperonis lost 2 down into P5. Pavlovich still sits in P6. Whitaker up 1 spot. Tipping up 1 spot. Healy up 3 into P9. De Bono sits still in P10. Todd Martin still in P11. So most of that movement sort of happened more towards the mid-pack there, where we see Weston's down 12, Burridge down 8, Cowan down 15. Unfortunately, Marnie down 24. So some big losses there. Unfortunately, with, again, some more lap 1 cold tyre issues. I'm going to blame
I don't
it.
think that's cold tyre issues that started any of that, to be honest. I mean, you're in a straight line when the contacts happen. So it's just, unfortunately, it just all got started with what I believe is two into one line, both converged at the same time. Douglas was looking to try and make a move nice and early, try and get himself down the inside of another car, and Mitch Muller, unfortunately, was coming back the other direction to try and open up the corner, and 2 into 1 don't mix, really.
No, definitely not, mate.
So it's definitely unfortunate for all the drivers involved of that before turn 1 accident, and then obviously De Bono and Marnie coming together side by side the whole time. So another one of those unfortunate incidents. Race control have a look at it and they'll determine if there's any driver who's mainly or predominantly at blame for those incidents, but we'll leave that with them for now. Just getting ready. I believe we should be going green at the end of this lap, I would hope.
Safety car still out there. See if it starts to pull away now.
And we'll be in at the end of this lap. So drivers will be told to hold 80 kilometres an hour. Brett Taylor will have control of the field.
Great to see all the support coming through out there in the chat for all your drivers. Ray says, as we say in go-karts, you don't win the race on the first corner. Mate, in NASCAR, I'm pretty sure you do win the race on the first corner. That's how oval racing works, right?
Nah. Yeah. In all racing, though, you can't win the race in the first corner, but you can certainly lose it.
Oh, yes. All right, safety car has pulled away. Matty Jones is in the pits. The field has been handed to Brett Taylor. Let's see where he makes his go from. Will he hold them up or will he make that quick getaway? He's off.
He's gone now, so went just a little bit after the normal accelerations over the last corner, and it's meant the field has flowed through nicely. But he's got himself a good little gap. Jamie Davis very clever not to get himself all the way past Simon Haynes. Doesn't want to incur a penalty, but that's a great result for Jamie Davis. Great restart for him. Now he's going to be handing the back of Mick Clifton here. Look to try and get the run out of turn 4. Get the power down nice and early. And then use the slipstream all the way up the back straight. We've got a couple of cars involved in an incident further back. Todd Martin and Travis Daly are dropping through the field. See Simon Haynes just got relegated that one spot. Down the start, finish straight. Everyone looks like they're making it through nice and clean through the rest of the pack at the moment. Oh, Jamie Davis late on the brakes.
Gets the move done though.
As we said, his battle pack that's formed up behind him with, I'm going to say it, it's 10 different teams in the top 10. 11 different teams in the top 11. It is.
I think you're right. Most times when you say something, you are right, so...
Or at least, sorry, in the top 10, because Scotty Rattler's there.
Yeah, JTIT, Fishies, Pelicans Racing.
Accelerate, Auto Serve,
yeah.
Old Mate and Sons, JTIT Race on Oz.
Velocity Sim Labs. Great to see so many different teams. Gosh, these cars look good coming through theirs. Caparonis, Pavlovich down the inside of Tipping. Ends up on the outside. Will have to slot in between him and Whitaker. The Bono now starting to hunt the Fishy car. Rattler side by side with Healy. Rattler braking just that little bit later. Will get the pull in. Can Healy get the run through here though? Oh, Whitaker's off track and around, and he's into the side of Healy. Healy's around as well. Bit of a check-up for the rest of the field as they come screaming through. That has put a lot of cars on top of each other, including Healy and Sheaf, Vanderkran and Whitaker. This is getting spicy. Up the front now, Clifton and Haynes. Haynes for Quatton. Pecky's getting that move done on Clifton. Caparonis just in behind him and Tipping as well. While the front two, Davis.
Haynes had a little bit of wheel spin coming off the curb there, off the last corner. Oh, you got Clifton trying to go up the inside. Clifton has just done the faker move, and he's just defended himself over Jim Caparonis there, just by trying to show I'm going for a move, and Jim goes, I'm not gonna try and make that 3 wide.
He goes Tipping now up the inside of Caparonis. He's really got to push it here and brake a lot later to get this move done. He is going to stay down the inside. Has got the lead in front of Caparonis. Flying through there in 5th gear. Down to a heavy braking spot. We see De Bono trying to get the nose down the inside of Caparonis. Won't get it done. Has to drop back in. He's got to be aware he's got Pavlovich on the rear. Back through the field a little bit. Crosby for the M1 Racing team here in sunny Queensland. Up 9 spots. Chasing down the GMK Logistics team driver of Craig Healy. Saw these guys having a bit of a battle in Heat 1 as well. Back further, Lorne McKee, Reese DeGoey and Chris Burridge all looking like they were going to get 3 wide contact again over the curbs. Car's really starting to get unsettled. A lot of checking up now.
Almost look like Joe Marnie there in the orange ATIT race on Oscar. We're almost 4 wide up the back straight. Oh, Joe's run wide.
Cowie down the inside of the auto serve Josh King car. Josh King auto serve car. Get his nose back in front of Cowie. Great battling across the field here. I want to jump back up the front real quick as timing tower was wrong. It said De Bono was right on the back of Caperonis then. He is now. Can he commit out of this corner? Horton. Smith side by side. Smith just in the lead. Will slot back in behind Smith. Still sitting right on the back of him though. Oh, down the inside he goes, sends it, locks it though. Smith is going to get a great run. The M1 racing car, Burridge, is going to get a run on him as well. Lost out on 2 positions in 1 corner. Small mistake with such a close field. Just gets eaten up by the rest of the pack. Smith now battling it out with Burridge. Down over the start finish line. Side by side towards turn 1. Oh, careful, lads. It's going to become a 5-way battle in no time as Reese DeGoey starts closing the gap. Scott Weston on the back and Joe Marnie as well. Bring your attention to the front pack again. Brett Taylor only lost 1 spot so far, and that's to Jamie Davis, who has now gapped out the field by 5 seconds. Really putting the power down. See tipping now though. Back of Haynes. Caperonis in the background with De Bono. Sandown really starting to put the show on. Pavlovich, Caperonis. Pavlovich. Oh, there is a slow car there. Might have been Gallen. The heat is on, as they would say. Healy, Crosby. Merck's in behind them. Crosby now starting to push Sheaf. Wants to get this move done as quick as he can.
If he's got good straight line, Crosby will have to either commit on the brakes or send it in nice and late. Manages to pull it up without contact being made. Wasn't a whole lot of space given there. Merckx is trying to go for a move on Healy. Healy gets a little bit crossed up off the curb. Merckx is now got Dougie Gowans coming up his inside. Gowans just turns in. Merckx gets a great drive out of the corner. Healy a little bit too narrow.
Oh, something's happened with Caperonis and Lorne. Is that Lorne and Weston?
And Clifton.
Front runners there.
Clifton, Lawn and Caparona. So 2 Accelerate cars involved. What happened there?
Oh,
Clifton just bullying Dougie Gowans out the way.
job,
And he
mate.
loses a spot to Burridge in the end.
Mr. Grandpa Gowans has got some guns. He's definitely going to be shooting them back. As we see there. Wants that spot back. Up 9 spots still, Mr. Grandpa Gowans. Biggest movers this evening in Heat 2 is Peter van der Kraan, up 13 spots with
Sean
Angry
Smith up
Birds.
14.
Wildfire Racing. That wild green Fanatec car. Battles are still on between Healy and Mirko. What's Healy got? GMK Logistics car down 2 spots from pole. Front
So the Bono at
runners.
the moment holding 5th, but he's challenging Simon Haynes. He's going to try and sweep around the outside in this last sequence of corners. And that bumps Haynes wide, and Pavlovich now in P5. It is the white flag. So this 3-car battle here, battling it out for 5th spot. Jamie Davis, though, took to the front of the field and hasn't been seen since.
That gap on that track map, mate. 7.3 seconds back to tipping. Crosby on the back of Sheaf. It does.
Does he have enough straight line speed now to make it work? I think he does. Heading up to turn 6. Takes a little bit more speed into the corner and will get himself through. And Jamie Davis gets us sideways again as he takes home another race win here for in SRW Simrigs V8 Supercars AMS. Comes home 6.8 seconds to the better over Liam Tipping. It'll be Taylor in 3rd, so a good conversion from the pole to hold on the 3rd spot. Dylan DeBono in 4th. Padar Pavlovich will take the reverse grid pole, finishing in 5th. Simon Haynes, Peter van der Kraan, Matt Whitaker, Bruce White, Darren Crosby round out the top 10. And Tyler Sheaf comes home 11th after that overtake on that last lap. Caparonis in 12th. Healy, Burridge just finishes behind Healy in the end. Merckx over Gowans. And then Clifton and DeGoey, Sean Smith. Sean Smith in the end up 14 spots. Darren Crosby also up 14. Peter van der Kraan up 13 as well. So good, another good race there. Lots of action off the start. That lap 1 incident still in my head is boggles with how crazy that was, the amount of carnage that was involved. But for what seemed like just a little bit of side-to-side contact, and unfortunately that's what it was. So
Very close racing, 34 cars on the grid. Sandown isn't one of the widest tracks, and also being one of the shortest on the series, it definitely caused a little bit of trouble just on those first laps. Once the cars got going, everything sort of seemed to pan out quite a lot, and the battles just got better and better. We do have a 10-minute warm-up now, and I ask of any of the drivers, especially anyone in that top 3 podium that wants to join us, please come on down to the green room. Love to have a chat to any of you, especially Jamie Davis with a phenomenal drive in Heat 2. Again, I'd just like to say a huge thanks to everybody for joining us here this evening for for the Simrigs.com V8 Supercars AMs. This is Sandown round 6, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. We have a bunch of awesome sponsors that are on board to help us run this amazing league and broadcast. All their links are down in the description. We have a bunch of affiliate links as well, so get in there, use our discount codes, and make sure you save yourself some money on your next purchases. While we wait for any drivers to come to the green room, we will just quickly run a quick intermission so you can check out some of the amazing products that our sponsors have to offer. If we see anybody jump into that green room, we will get on the comms with them. Again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have found yourself enjoying this broadcast, let us know by hitting that like button. It goes a long way in helping us continue do what we do best. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and people of all ages, thank you for sticking around and checking out some ads from all our sponsors. Results are in for Heat 2. Jamie Davis did take that win by a whopping 6.8 seconds over Tipping. Taylor down in third, DeBono in fourth, and Pavlovich in fifth. That is your reverse top 5 here for our feature race. Thanks to Simrigs.com. Getting spicy here tonight, Preach. What are you feeling for the feature race here tonight? Do you think everybody will be a bit more settled and we'll get through more than one lap before a safety car?
One word? No.
Well, yeah, that sums it up nice and easy, doesn't it?
It's a feature race. I think that there will be a little bit of chaos through the first sector. I think there's just so much going on. It's such a big field at the moment, and just everyone sort of rams in, tries to get into turn 1 together, and then the fact that you switch back after such a short little run into turn 2, and then back on yourself in turn 3. There's really only one line through turns 2 and 3. It's difficult to get up the inside of 4 as well, so all the overtake, if you want to get an overtake done on lap 1, is really get yourself down the inside for turn 1 and then hope that everyone else goes single file in front of you. But I mean, that's ideal world. That's what we'd love to see, but that's not going to happen. Everyone's a racer here. To be fair, everyone's a very fair racer in SRW, but everyone's a racer at heart, and with only 20 minutes around here, probably only 18 laps or so, opportunities run out very quickly.
Yeah, they definitely do, mate. It's going to be a very interesting feature race, that's for sure. Definitely looking forwards to it, as this 10-minute practice session will come to an end, and we will be moving on to our feature and final race here tonight at Sandown. The grid is getting set, and we will see Petar Pavlovich hold that P1 spot.
Yeah, so Petar Pavlovich will line up on the pole alongside Dylan DeBono, Brett Taylor and Liam Tipping off of row 2. Jamie Davis, race winner in race 1 off of row 3 alongside Simon Haynes, Peter Vanderkraan, Matt Whitaker, Bruce White, Darren Crosby, Tyler Sheaf, Jim Caperonis. Everyone from 6th down is as they finish in the last race. So Craig Healy, Chris Burridge, Dan Merks, Dougie Gowans, Mick Clifton, Reese DeGoey, Sean Nazaska Smith, Joe Marnie. Managed to get himself back up to 20th spot in the end. Mark Horton, Andrew Cowan, Scotty Rattler, Josh King, Scott Perrins, Greg Leake, John Gallen, Todd Martin, Scott Weston, Jason Douglas, and then Travis Daly, Lorne McKee, and Mitch Muller round out the 33 cars that will be taking part in the race this evening. Matty Jones and Tyson McAvoy, obviously, in the safety car race control box. That's, I think we'll call it.
Race stewards.
Race stewards. Getting ready for a green flag start here in just a second.
Still quite a few cars not on the grid yet. We're still waiting for most of the front runners to actually get out onto the grid. If you are watching us this evening, I want to get your inputs. What do we say out there, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to make it one lap without a safety car? Let us know in the chat. Pavlovich now taken up pole position. Pacific Esports Racing Team, as we like to call them, the Pelican Racing Team, with that great looking Lakes Edge logo on the front and the big Pelican down the side as well.
I'll Tell you what, seeing it up close is wonderful. This particular camera is great, I have to say. The fact that we can see all the cars, pan around them.
Working on how to do it through the whole grid. At the moment, it only holds pole position. It's a nice little addition to the broadcast.
Getting ready for a green flag start here. Revs rise. We get ready for our feature race here this evening. It's a great jump from Dylan DeBono. Gets himself off the line nicely. Tyler Sheep a little bit squirrely in the background. Got 4 wide further back in the pack, but it will be DeBono to sweep around and take the lead through turn 1. Tipping will get around. Padar Pavlovich as well. Dougie Gowan's getting his elbows out. Everyone looks like they've gotten through here cleanly. We've got a Quantum Pecky's car in the background that's around. Joe Marnie up on the curb. Got his teammate in front of him in Mercs. Up in front. Everyone looks like they've gotten through. There was a couple of Quantum Pecky's cars that were held up at the back of the pack in Perrins and Martin. Caparonis is down 19 spots as well. Sean Smith just runs a little bit wide. Coming through turn 6, gets himself back in line. Cowie just getting right up the rear end with that velocity car of Tyler Sheaf.
Scotty Rattler is filing in behind Cowie there as well. The Goey all going to stay relatively close. We'll quickly jump back up to the front as Jamie Davis in the auto serve beast was looking like he was trying to make a move down the side of Pavlovich. We saw the pace Davis had in Heat 2. Wonder if he can turn it on here now for our feature race. Again, lots of points on offer here as a super sprint round. Bono, as you said, did get a great start. Oh, Mirkos is around.
It's not caught in the tyre in the wall though, so he'll get moving again.
It's battle pack towards the back.
Oh, there's contact. Oh.
Oi, hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. That was a wild ride. You can see just what happens when one car has a slight mishap. Everybody else checks up because they're not sure what's going to happen. Getting ready to hold on for the worst, but somehow everybody made it through there.
I can't, Shibby. How did Cowie not collect any other cars?
Skills, mate. Skills. I have no idea, mate. I was holding my breath.
He backed it into turn 6 on the grass. And managed to save it. Oh.
Daly got a move there on Weston. Over those curbs, though. Those curbs are really giving the AMs a big trouble tonight. Getting these cars really unsettled.
Oh!
Daly and Weston collide there side by side. Pushes Daly into the wall.
Oh,
the yellow
really?
carve leak.
Oh.
Battle continues back here. Up the front, though, we're starting to see some pushes happening.
Davis got pushed. Davis and Pavlovich have dropped.
Smith came off track as well. Goey now in the pits. No, he's just crossed the pit line. Yep, he's just crossed the pit line.
So I wonder what happened there, but with Pavlovich and Davis, because they were running 4th and 5th. We get a replay here. So Davis looks like is he gonna duck for a move? So he does go to duck for a move. Oh, Pavlovich has been turned, manages to get himself moving again. Just. So it looks like there's a little clip of the rear end Yeah, just a little tiny clip there. Unfortunately, turns Pavlovich around. Davis has attempted to redress that one. Pavlovich goes off again. Chase Douglas. Oh no, that's Bruce White.
Yeah,
even
it's Bruce White, mate.
up there in P7 at the moment.
Good to see.
And Joe Marnie just off the back of Chris Burridge at the moment. He's up 11 spots from where he started. We're only 5 laps into the race.
Can't see Marnie's name. There he is. Brad Anderson has dropped in and said, loving the broadcast, fellas. Thanks, mate. We do it all for you guys and, of course, the drivers out here this evening. This is one big train happening. Sam Katakasunas said, car radio must have been playing Let's Hang On to What We've Got. Sean Smith a bit further back in the pack, on the back of Scotty Rattler Van Loon. Just shows the nose, not close enough to make anything happen here. We'll get a good run through. Cars in front, holding them up. McKee and Schieffer around. That is Sheaf. Sheaf is on his roof. That is 6 laps in. We may just get a safety car here. As De Bono, though, Velocity Sim Lab, that was his teammate on his roof, has pushed the gap out to tipping by 2 seconds. Matt Whitaker from Fishy Motorsports starting to pull down tipping. There's a lot of battles happening back in that battle pack.
This is a good one here. Cowie trying to get around Sean Smith. A little bit of contact. Smith manages to catch the car. Cowie backs out of it. The 3 PSR cars coming up behind Sean Smith at the moment. Just see Douglas now on the back of Gallant. Trying to get a run.
Oh, White's around. Dynamic Sim Sport driver is around. Get it off the wall and back on track. He will. Marnie, though, again over those inside curbs, really starting to unsettle these cars. Marnie in a sandwich there. Pavlovich, Healy. Just ahead of him is Burridge and Marnie. Just under halfway in and no safety car, so it looks like they were able to rescue Tyler Sheaf's car without interrupting the feature race here.
Craig Healy trying to look for a move here on Petar Pavlovich. Just shows the nose, fills the mirror. Running up the back straight now, 4 cars in a line.
Oh, DeGoey and Cowan, 2 teammates. Gonna have a battle out here. Oh, DeGoey just pulled out, got on the brakes a little bit earlier than Cowie. We want to go taking out teammates. They're both sitting in pretty good spots here, both up in the top 20. Stephen Banks says, look at the action sprint racing brings. Love it. Oh, Bruce White carrying a lot of damage from that earlier spin. Just loses a spot there to Mirko. Damage not holding up well on that Mustang. Pav is doing awesome considering the damage he copped after being turned. Pav is holding his own up in that top 10. Only down 8 spots. Could be worse. Douglas starting to fight his way through the field. Up 17 spots now in this feature race. Sitting in 13th. Wanting to make it into 12th. But John Gallen of the Pelican Esports Racing Team is in his way as we see Douglas pull out.
Douglas got a good run off the off Dandenong on road, but unfortunately couldn't get himself up alongside enough. Just had a little bit of wheel spin, a little bit of, a little bit tail happy coming off the corner when he tried to change direction around Gallen. Unfortunately, just has to tuck back in behind, try and do it all over again. Oh, and that's Dougie Gowans who was around. And who I believe has towed back to the pits as well.
Yep, he has. Not having a great night, Mr. Gowans, but I tell you what, he gets out here every night of the week and races every car. Can't get the man off the sim. You see Sean Smith starting to chase down the accelerate car of Mark Horton. Does have Cowan and DeGoey starting to close down on the back of him as well.
No, Davis is in the pit lane.
In the pits.
Jamie Davis was black flagged, so has to serve a drive-through penalty.
Oh, iRacing black flag?
No, it's a race director issued one, so... Oh, no.
Joey, big lock up.
DeGoey's involved. Oh, that's a smoking engine. He's going to struggle to make it back to pits with that. Now, I wonder what's happened here. So, DeGoey comes out. Oh, Jamie Davis has been involved in an accident with Sean Smith.
Is that as Davis came back out of the pit?
That's Davis as he came back out of the pit lane. We see what's happened here. So,
see Sean Smith in the background. That's the accelerate car there. Smith just into the back of him.
We need to watch that in real time, Shibby, because that looked like it was
happened fast.
Can we get an onboard from Sean Smith, like cockpit? Oh, it happens. It happened pretty quick for Sean Smith. I just wasn't sure because we had one of the cars duck out. It was Mark Horton who ducked out of the way.
I wonder if Smith
That's
just
a real
wasn't
unfortunate
sure
one.
where to go. It was only half a second to react. Unfortunately, it did mean he went into the back of Davis. Marnie here being hassled by Pavlovich. Marnie up 13 spots into P7. Will be looking for a good bunch of points. Really needing to get back up there. Jason Douglas now has made it up into the top 10, up 20 spots. He is our biggest mover so far for our feature race.
I have to say, we saw Joe Marnie climb up 20 spots in the feature race at Miami. Jason Douglas has done it again. So it goes to show what happens when you put the guys with pace just a little bit further down the order, what they can do. You see Leak just letting Marnie and Pavlovich past. Run up the back straight here. Pavlovich right, as close to the rear wing as possible as he can on Marnie. Takes a lot of the inside curb. Douglas is closing the gap down on Healy too. Ever so slightly, you can see him in behind this battle. So Douglas will be looking to try and go one better than what Marnie could manage. Marnie gets past the autoserve car of Jamie Davis, who's now 2 laps down on the leaders. Really unfortunate result for Jamie Davis, who was running a great race up the top of the field and then gets collected through no real fault of his own in that one.
Yeah, definitely. He's just come out of the pits. He's going to be at a much slower speed. So, have Mr. Parzival drop in and ask how is Mr. Jim Caparonis doing? On screen with you now, mate, trying to hunt down Muller and Smith in front of him. We're down into the final 4 minutes here of our feature race here tonight for round 6 of the Simrigs.com Amateur Series.
Douglas has done it. He's gone up another spot. And he could have another one here as well. Going to try and get up the inside of Healy. Fortune just gets held up with Greg Leake in front. Going to try and go underneath him. Going to squeeze himself through. And there you go. So now he's up 22 spots into 8th place.
Richard Muller, not far behind. Not far behind him. Up 21.
Wow.
Got some big movers tonight. Mick Clifton now. Joshua King. Auto Serve and the Excellent Sim Racing. Both having a battle. You can see Joshua King in there behind. Bruce White is starting to close in on this battle as well. Mark Horton's on the back of him. Another Accelerate Sim Racing driver. Bono still just pushing it away. Caparonis now looking for a move on Smith. Tries the crisscross. Both cars get a little crooked. Burridge is going to make a meal of this and probably get around Caparonis. Definitely got a better run out of there. Caparonis on the inside, though, isn't going to be far enough up the car. Well done to Burridge. Just made use of that small mistake. Caparonis there. Locked in an overtake.
Bruce White, Josh King. Oh, Bruce White was skating on the brakes there whilst he was underneath the rear wing of Josh King.
Fortunately, Josh King will lose 2 spots to both White and Horton. Did overshoot turn 1. He's got a good run out of that next corner, though, on the back of Horton now. Smooth sailing here for the feature race. De Bono for Velocity Sim Lab. Really showing us what the young drivers can do. 1.8 second the gap back to tipping for the JTIT race on Oz. Really great run from him over the last couple of races with not the best qualifying. Matt Whitaker, though, Mr. Consistent tonight. I think he hasn't moved from P3 across most of the races. The white flag is out. Barney is waving. This will be our final lap here for the feature race.
Simple Simon Haynes up there in P4. So he's been running his own race. He's been really quiet. I haven't said much about him over the last couple of races, and been doing really nicely tonight. Been a great result for him after what's been probably a challenging night again for the Quantum Peckies guys. To be running up there in 4th spot at the moment is a really outstanding result. Pavlovich still on the back of Marnie there for 6th spot. A little bit further back. But Dylan De Bono has done another great job tonight. Gets himself another race win in the Supercars AM Series. Tipping finishes just behind him. And then Matt Whitaker for Fishy Motorsports back on the podium yet again. Simon Haynes in 4. Darren Crosby will come across the line in 5th. A few big gaps throughout the field there. As Crosby does come across in 5th. Marnie in 6th, holds on over Pavlovich. The gap at the line, 3/10. Keeley holds it out over Gallen by just a 10th and a half. Cowie over Muller in the end. Burridge comes home in 13th. So it is Jason Douglas who moves the most tonight. 22 spots, which I believe is the most positions gained we've seen overall.
Yeah, in the V8Ms it is. I was thinking of the 86s as well, because I think we had 27 places gained in the 86s. So great. It's definitely the record for the V8Ms.
Clifton missed out on taking out P16 by 7/100ths of a second. Seven hundredths. That's it.
Nothing in it at all. What a turnout here for Sandown this evening. And guess what? We get to do it all again Sunday night. The Simrigs.com V8 Supercars Pro-Am Series. So don't forget to get subscribed, hit that notification bell as we go live 5 nights a week.
Big burnouts here, tipping in P2.
Overall results for this round are in. And we have a tie in points here this evening for our P1 position. This is how close the AMs are. There's also a tie for overall P4. As we get to the end of this series, these are going to get spicy. Starting from the top, P1 tied with Liam Tipping, Dylan De Bono, both finishing this round on 174 points out of the 3 races. Sitting in 3rd place, Matt Whitaker on 158 points. Then tied is Petar Pavlovich and Simon Haynes.
I said he had a quiet race, but he's come home with a 12th in. Hang on, where are we? So Heat 1, Simon Haynes was in 7th. Then Heat 2, finished 6th. Then in the feature, he finished 4th. So he's been working his way up the grid all night. And yeah, I thought he'd been quiet, but has just been going along doing his thing. So great result there for Simon. But we do have our round results in there for you. So we'll get Matt Whitaker in first, coming home in that 3rd spot for the round. Matt, mate, well done on this evening. P3 in the round and P3 in the feature race, mate. Give us your thoughts on that one. You had a bit of an up and down race too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was overall good result. I had Blake Delaney, the boss, Mike, and Dave Coleman in my ear. So that was good having them there. But yeah, went all right. Second race was a bit average. A few mistakes and just yeah, just sort of had to settle myself again. So yeah, had the boys in my ear helping me out. So that was good.
Nice, and you definitely got a fount of knowledge there, giving you some tips and guiding you through that one.
Yeah, definitely.
How much of a value is it having those guys coming out and helping you out in the AMs on Tuesday nights?
It's just, yeah, it's really helpful. They'll pick little things that you're doing wrong or you could do better. So each lap you know trying to hit an apex that I'm leaving behind most of the time. So yeah, just things like that. They're pointing things out and yeah, helping a lot. So no, it's awesome. They've been doing it for a long time and a lot longer than I have. So yeah, the knowledge is unreal.
And they're definitely not slow either. So that definitely helps you. You got someone to listen to who
100%
knows what they're talking about. You know, yeah. I mean, you could listen to us in the comms box talk about what's going wrong, but I'll take it with a grain of salt, to be honest, because I'm not very quick in these, and I'm sure Shibby will say he's not very quick either.
I can do a mad burnout though.
Yeah, that's what. If you need any burnout tips, come and talk to us. We'll be
we'll do, mate. I'll
give them to you.
On the list.
We're now 2/3 of the way through the championship, and you're sitting in a pretty decent spot up there. I still think you're up there in the top 3. But you're still leading the championship by 5 points after this round. So it's super tight. There is between 1st and 4th. It really is now between 1st and 4th. There is what's that? What's my maths like? 45 points.
Oh, that's
between
awesome.
1st and 4th.
Close.
So it's really tight. Bit of a gap opening up between Crosby and Vanderkraan now for 4th and 5th, but yeah,
that's good.
The 3 of you have had been having some great races, Tipping and Davis as well. Davis had a bit of an off one in that 3rd race there, but
yeah, Liam. Yeah, trying to chase down Liam and Dylan. They had heaps of pace. Like I was following Liam, and I saw him make a couple little mistakes. I'm like, I might be on here, but he's just getting heaps of drive out of all the corners, so he was doing really well. Yeah, definitely pushing to try to close that gap.
Well, you're 5 points to the better off at the moment, so let's hope you can keep moving forwards and open up some gaps there. We've got an American triple header to finish off the season with Road America, Road Atlanta, and Chicago to finish off. So it's all to play for out there. Road America obviously lines up with Scops next week as well. So hopefully you can jump in with all the boys as they start practicing for the Scops finale as well, and get yourself in a good spot practice-wise for next week. Yeah,
for sure. We'll try to get amongst that if I get a bit of spare time. So.
Awesome. Well done again, mate. Still got the championship lead. Yes, it's only by 5 points, but that's still the lead that counts. And well done tonight as well.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
No worries. We'll give you a chance now to thank all those sponsors that keep Fishy Motorsports running at the top of the grid.
Yeah, just thank West End Motor Group, Infinity Designs, DC Shades, Battery Warehouse, Airlie Beach, and Precision Sim Training. And yeah, we can't forget hashtag Race for Eddie. Just yeah, everyone's thinking about him, and hope he's doing well. So
awesome. Well done again tonight, mate. It's a great result for you, and I'm sure the season is looking strong, and you'll be coming for the next 3 rounds ready and raring to go, and be really putting one hand on that championship trophy if you can.
Oh, let's see how we go. I'll just keep rocking up every week and having a crack. So no, cheers guys, appreciate your work.
Awesome. Well done again, Matt.
Biddy, thanks.
And we'll jump and grab our I'm gonna call him P2 for the round, because usually if a round result involves a win, that's usually the tiebreaker.
So
I'm gonna bring
tiebreaker was, just for everybody at home, is that De Bono on the final feature race had 0 incident points, whereas Tipping saw 2.
Right. So Tipping will come home in P2. We'll grab him now. Liam, mate, well done. Come home P2 for the round. It was a great result in that throughout the whole night for you. Give us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I was a bit spewing in that third race. I made a couple of mistakes, but it would have been hard because I think the 3 of us would pretty much must have been doing the same lap times for the whole race.
Yeah, I think looking at the average between the top 3, Dylan's average lap time was an 8.3, yours was an 8.4, and Matt's was an 8.5. So there's not much between you in terms of average lap times in the end. So yeah, very similar pace. You only finished 1.5 seconds behind Dylan. Was there a feeling maybe towards the middle stage of that race that you might have been able to get close?
Yeah, there was a couple of times. I think he pinched a brake a few times down into Danny Dunk. So I was kind of hoping that maybe he'd do it a couple more times so I could get a bit closer. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was my stuff up in turn 2 and 3 that kind of threw me out of being able to win it. I just ended up holding the same sort of gap until he made a couple of little mistakes.
It's unfortunate how little mistakes can really undo a race, especially when they're only 20 minutes long. Did you have any other feelings throughout the other 2 races, or was it just much of the same? Just wanted to try and get right up towards the front in every one of them?
Yeah, I think the first race I was kind of just making sure I didn't bin it anyway. The turn 2 and 3, it hit the curbs pretty hard, so it's easy to stuff it up. And then same going down the hill, it's pretty intense. So I think first race I was just happy, just kind of cruising, making sure I finished, and I ended up finishing pretty well anyway. And then second race I really wanted to make sure I got into the top 5. I got to 5th, and I kind of thought about just staying there and trying to pinch the pole, but I think De Bono was coming up too quick by me anyway, so he would have got me. So I just pressed on. I don't even remember where I finished.
I could have a look for you, but it really doesn't matter overall because you end up finishing P2 in this one. You're now 5 points behind Matt Whitaker in the championship. 5 points is in one of these feature races is 2 spots. That's all it is between you and in one of these super sprint races, 2 spots. But we're off to Road America next for an enduro round where half a spot is 5 points, basically. So it's very, very tight. One result and it could all come undone. One result and it could all be you taking the lead of the championship with 2 rounds to play. Have you given much thought to the championship at all?
Yes and no. I think the goal is still just to finish as high as you can, but there's probably a little bit of just being a little bit careful, making sure you finish. Sometimes you'll see guys in your mirror that you just know that they're gonna have a really big dive, and it's just not worth fighting it. I'd rather just not turn across their nose at some point. I think maybe down the end of a race it might be a bit different, but especially coming into enduro, you kind of need to just finish, really.
Do you want to know who's around you, who you've got to be racing to take some points off him? It's Matt Whitaker, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Will you keep your eye on where he is and try and see what you can do? If he's coming up behind you, maybe battle him a bit harder than some of the other drivers who aren't quite in the championship fight. Is that a little bit of tactic, or is it just take every spot that comes?
Maybe towards the end of like a race, or even maybe the last round or last 2 rounds. But I honestly think it's just better that I just do the best that I can do, and then they just run their own race. Whatever happens. If it comes down to the line, like later on in like maybe at Chicago or whatever, then yeah, maybe. But until then, I think it's more just about maximizing every race.
All right, mate. Well done again on P2 for the round. You actually tied on points with Dylan based on the iRacing results, but Dylan had a 0x in that final race, so he'll get some extra points there as well. Unfortunately, you had the 2x, so he'll get the bonus points for a 0x race in the end. But either way, it's still a great result for you, closing that gap to Matt at the front ever so slightly. So lots still to play out for the rest of the season, but yeah.
It's probably lucky I only ended up with a 2x, because I did actually clobber the wall pretty decent.
All right, mate. I'll give you a chance to thank all those sponsors that keep you running.
Big thanks to JTRT, our main sponsor, and thanks to Gutternight for being on board with our esports team and as a minor sponsor with our team. And then thanks to B Electrical and Solar and all of our forum sponsors.
Yeah, awesome. Well done again, mate. Looking forward to seeing what you can do over the next couple of rounds leading up to the finale at Chicago. So good luck, enjoy, get yourself amongst all those boys from Gutter Night Race on Oz who will be practicing very hard for Road America in Scops, and get yourself amongst it, because that's where we're off to next.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
P2 for the round, Liam tipping there. I'm going to grab Dylan DeBono, our round winner here this evening. Dylan, mate, well done. Round win for you. You got it by the skin of your teeth in the end by getting a 0x in that final race, giving you the overall round win. Give us your thoughts on the whole night, mate. What did you feel coming into that, coming across the line at the end of the feature?
Yeah, pretty stoked, to be honest. To come away with the round win, 2 wins and a podium. Couldn't be more happy than that, to be honest.
It's a great result for you. You're climbing your way back through this championship nicely. You're sitting now, it's about 145 points off the top, but you're closing yourself up towards that top 3 nice and neatly, with only a couple of rounds left to play in this one, and definitely with a big round of Enduro coming up next at Road America. Was there any major incidents tonight, or anything that you think you could have worked out better, or is it just take every race as it comes and take some learning points and move forward?
No, I think the first race, it was good. Got a good gap at the start. I tried something different with a wing, running a higher wing compared to everyone else, and it worked. Second race had a good start there as well, and I just wanted to finish top 5. In the reverse top 10, I finished 3rd, so that was good. The last race just had a consistent race, kept the gap equal, and yeah.
Did you feel any threat from Liam behind early on in that feature race?
Yeah, I did a little bit at the start, because he was running a lot less wing, so he was monster fast down the straight, so I was just watching out for that. But I knew once I got out of the slipstream, I would be okay. I had the pace on him a little bit there. He was quick in qualifying, but I knew my race pace was pretty good in these cars. So
yeah, nice. Now I have to ask, how do you find time to do as many series as you do with us? It seems like every night you're racing something different. You've got Wednesday nights you're doing really nicely in the F3s. Thursday nights you're sitting 3rd in the championship in the 86s. Like, how do you find the time? I don't find the time half the time to wash my clothes, let alone sim race every night.
yeah, no, I guess that's the perks of being a kid, living at home. I have found it a little bit harder this season with all the three such different cars. It's been a bit of a struggle, but I just try and get on an hour before, run some laps. Doug, he helps me out heaps. All the guys at Velocity Sim Labs, they do all the testing, really. They do all the hard stuff, and I just rock up, which, it's good. But just being in. I also think being in different cars also helps. Learn the track faster. And yeah.
Have you got any more races coming up for the Excels, or is the season done and dusted for you guys now?
We finished up the season 3 weeks ago. Finished second overall in the championship, New South Wales. We have an announcement coming up soon for next year of what we're doing, which is pretty cool. That'll be good fun. So we're finished for the season. Get prepared for next year and get after it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that P2 in the championship, mate. That's an absolutely outstanding result for you. I'm sure you're very proud of that achievement, and we will look with interest to see what's coming up for you in 2024. Right now, though, you're doing everything that you need to do here in SRW to stamp your authority on the league as a whole. Lots of pace in everything, and it's hard not to notice. So well done again on that. Give us a chance. I'll give you a chance now to thank all the sponsors that keep you and the rest of the Velocity boys running every week.
Yeah, thanks. Firstly, Velocity Sim Labs. Without them, definitely wouldn't be at the front. Original Digital Design, IRacing YouTube, Petted Suspension. They're a real life sponsor. They help me out heaps. You guys for putting on the stream, and SRW for hosting the sessions and the league every week. Without them, we definitely wouldn't be racing.
Awesome. Well done again tonight, mate. It's a great result. Coming home with the round win. You're surging your way back through this championship. So a couple of rounds to play. Good luck for the rest of them, and we'll definitely be watching with interest to see how you can keep moving forward. You've got the pace. You've shown that on multiple occasions, and hopefully you can convert that pace into results for the rest of the season.
Cheers, boys. Thanks.
And that's it, Shibby. That's the night that was.
The night that was Sandown, mate. So what an absolute cracking race that was. 3 20-minute races overall to see Dylan DeBono from Velocity Sim Labs take out the round win. I hope you have all enjoyed this broadcast here tonight with myself and Preach. And before we go, I'd just like to say a huge shout out to all of you for joining us. All of the drivers that get out here every week and put on this phenomenal show. Definitely couldn't do it without them. And of course, all our amazing sponsors that allow us to keep putting on this great show and running such a great league here in Australia and New Zealand. Simrigs.com, Warren & Brown Tools, Racecraft Simulations, Shannon's Insurance, Rare Spares, Tempting Sweets, DSL Rail Services, Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table, Neuropower, and Rocketed Unlimited for all the music you hear on our streams. Check out Rocket Unlimited on Spotify. And of course, thanks for joining us again, Preach. It was a blast being back here behind the cameras and on comms with you, mate. And let's do it all again, same time. Except next week, same channel.
Same time, next week, same back channel.
Yeah, same bat channel, yeah. Same V8 channel here as SRW TV. And we're going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.